What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Lesson Thoughts Podcast. I am your host, Digital Relaxation. We are back again for another episode. And as always, if you guys enjoy what you hear, what you're gonna hear, please be sure to share bars, like, comment, all that good stuff. Let's get into it. All right, let me adjust my mic real quick. Get up in your ear. Yeah, as always, man. What I've been up to. I was supposed to drop an episode last week, but I got lazy. Yeah, that's the only excuse. I was just lazy. But yeah, I mean, we almost there. Almost at the end of the year. The final month left, and I only got one more episode left after this. For the month. That episode should be dropping on Christmas. So yeah, the Christmas episode from me. But yeah. So yeah. Nice little episode for you guys. What I've been up to, the usual, nothing. Literally before I started recording this video, I just I'm not gonna say for the first time, probably for the second time in my life. I watched The Truman Show like in its entirety. I've probably seen it the first time I've seen it probably when I was like a kid. So, you know, remembering everything was hazy. But of course, the power of YouTube and stuff, seeing clips and things and how impactful that movie is to society. I did mention there is a thing called the Truman effect or syndrome or something like that. Let me see. The Truman Show delusion, where basically people believe like they are in a similar position as Truman in the movie, where like if you actually search out like videos of that on YouTube, like people literally like, oh, like, yeah, I saw you just sitting there not doing nothing, and then the moment I came up to you, now you're acting like you're doing something. Like people, like, you know, it's one of those things. NPC behavior, or what I call it, because you know we in the Matrix. I mentioned it happens all the time. Like one of the best examples for me is like when I'm driving and I'm about to get to like the end where I'm trying to like make a right or left turn, like the crossroad, and like while you driving to that road, not a car in sight, so you think you're gonna make a nice turn. As soon as you get to the end of the road, like traffic from both sides just come out of nowhere. So yeah, you know, NPC behavior be happening out here. But it's an interesting movie to watch it now, older, because you know Jim Carrey is mostly known for like his goofy roles and whatnot, and it's nice to see that he did a role like that so early in his career. Because I mean, yeah, like usually, I don't know, it's hard to explain. Like to quickly remove himself from being like typecast, I guess, as like, you know, he just does one thing. So, you know, most of his stuff was comedy at the time. With I mean, The Mask was comedy. He made it comedy. I would say that. I believe The Mask is really like a dark story, if I'm not mistaken, like from the comics and whatnot. It is a darker story. And he does some low-key dark stuff in that movie, but because it's Jim Carrey, it's like it feels more humorous when he does it. So yeah, then of course he did Dumb and Dumber and all of that, the Ace Ventura movies. So he was being looked at as like, oh, he's just the silly wacky guy. So then, you know, he went in to do the Truman, got his little bag real quick to show you like, you know, I can do more things than that. But yeah, I don't think I don't think there's anything else new I've been watching. Have I watched anything new lately? I don't know. Well, uh, I'm thinking movie wise. There is something new I've been watching. I'm gonna get into it in a second. Movie wise, I don't think there's nothing new I've seen. I don't even think there's anything new to watch. Is there? I don't know. I ain't been paying attention, I guess. I mean, I think that Gladiator movie came out, but I'm not fond of that time period of movies like that. I don't know. So going on to music. The only new thing that has happened since last episode was Kendrick. Kendrick dropped the GNX album. It was a surprise release. He literally just dropped the teaser video and then like 15 hours later just dropped the whole album. So yeah, there's like no type of, we don't know what's going on. The album as a whole, I listened to it twice. I want to say twice fully. The first time when it came out, and the second time just randomly. This album is better to listen to when you're driving because of the beats, the production. It just slaps in the car. I mean, you could probably still enjoy listening to it like on your personal time, like, you know, earphones and whatever, but I think it slaps just driving. I think it's just driving music. Good driving music. But this album, very, very West Coast style. I feel like that's a thing with some rappers. Denzel Curry did that. I want to say he did it twice. But Denzel Curry did that where he would drop a very, you know, abstract album with a certain theme to it, and then which I would say that would be Taboo. And then he drops Zoo right afterwards, and that whole album was just very Miami inspired type music. Like, it wasn't the dark music he was making, or it wasn't the screaming music. Like, it was just him just legitimately just rapping to these beats that's like more familiar to the Miami sound. And then he goes back with Melt My Eyes, which is a very like therapeutic type album. Like, you know, he's really getting into like, you know, things that's been going on in his life, his mindset, how he's been viewing life and whatnot. And then the album he just recently dropped again sounds like another like Miami type style. So of course going off of Mr. Morale, which was very just therapy the album. People like, so he just came out and like, all right, let me just get y'all just straight bangers, just West Coast vibe, no story to it, just giving y'all some tunes to just vibe to, and they're good. Favorite noticeable songs, of course everyone was gonna like Squabble Up because we've been waiting for it since he dropped the video to Not Like Us. It was the teaser song. Luther was cool. Reincarnated, he used a sample of a Tupac track. Everyone loves TV Off for meme reasons. My favorite song, Dodger Blue. That's my favorite song. That's very West Coast, laid back. Just you gotta go for a ride with that beat. And Gloria is my other favorite one. The other songs is and the Heart Part 6. I like Heart Part 6, of course. And Gloria, which he did a Common where he raps about this woman in his life, and basically the woman is his pen. He just raps in the perspective of his pen being an actual woman, like, you know, always being there for him when he started making music, and when she was there for him, like what got him into writing music and all of that, and all the times when, I guess, the on and off moments, I guess, when he had writer block and he felt like uninspired to make music, and it's like the moment he put his pen back in his hand, it's like, you know, it just comes back to him. So it's an interesting song to listen to. But overall, it's a cool album. Like I said, I prefer listening to it if you're just driving. I don't know. This one is weird for me. So people comparing, I don't think a lot of people compare, but some people comparing this album to like a Damn Part 2, and a lot of people hold Damn as like his best work, and I believe even Kendrick believes Damn is his best project or his favorite project. Uh, I don't. I'm not gonna say I don't like Damn. I think Damn is just the lowest ranked project to me. And this one feels like it's there with it because it's just. I guess I prefer more of a theme with the novel. I don't know. So like when it's just feel like you just rapping and just making music and just putting it together. I mean, sometimes it's cool. Some albums can do that, but you know, it's like when you know he can do. Like we got Good Kid, Mad City, we got To Pimp a Butterfly, we got Mr. Morale, so we know what he can do when he does like these abstract, deep dive and like highly produced projects with the whole theme and whole story tied to it. So like I said, it's fine, just music. Like you just need some music. Like it has, you know, everything, like, you know, his hype tracks, his slow tracks, his just cruising tracks, his, you know, his rappity rap tracks. It's all there. It's just you know, it's just music just put together. So that's about it. I don't think any other albums dropped from my knowledge. At least no albums that I'm looking forward to or I was interested in. So I've just been listening to everything I've just been listening to recently. Just trying to make my favorite albums of the year list by re-listening to the albums that I enjoyed before. But that's mainly it for music. So going into anime, that's the new thing that I've been watching. I'm keeping the anime section light because obviously I have an anime based podcast and we are going to be returning soon, and most likely I'm going to probably talk about these animes on there. So I'm just going to keep it light. The first anime I finally completed was Jobless Reincarnation. I was recommended to watch that like a few months ago from the podcast, and I watched it, but you know, people want to have their opinions. The show is broken down into parts. So the first season was broken down into parts, but you know, if you want to say it's the first season, it's the first season. So the first season was 12 episodes. That was part 1, and then part 2 was another like 12 episodes. But I watched the first 12 episodes thinking that was just the season. That was it. But whatever. So I decided to just watch the other 3 parts. Technically only 2 seasons. Trying to make it feel like it's a long show for no reason. I enjoyed it. Overall, I enjoyed it. I think season 2 part 1 is my favorite, but yeah, like I said, I'm keeping it light. Next anime is called C Control, the money and soul of possibility. The best way to describe this anime is economic Yu-Gi-Oh. It's in this time, well, not even time, I don't know, it's just set where it shows how important money is to the world, and you know, you have money, you have power, and then you have your literal manifestation of like, I want to say your money, but like your avatar. You have an avatar, and they put in the story like, oh, that your avatar represents your future, and depending on how much money you got, it's like how strong your avatar can fight against other avatars. Like I said, Yu-Gi-Oh type shit, because they come out of your credit card. So yeah, but I mean, if you into like, which is funny because it's the anime came out in 2011. It's interesting to watch it now, where you know they were talking about inflation and all of that craziness, and how the value of money is dying and the power of the yen is dying as you look at current time period right now where like the yen is very weak right now and inflation and all of that happening. So it's like it's very interesting that I know that I cross paths with this anime now. So if you're interested in learning about economics in a cool anime way with fighting and whatever, you can go ahead and watch that. It's only like 12 episodes. It's a quick, I think 11 episodes actually. So yeah, it's a quick watch. And that's about it for anime. Going into gaming section. This one is light because gaming is getting boring. Not for real. I mean, I said this since probably last year. Like, I was already concerned for this year with gaming because we got so much bangers last year that's like to keep up this year, like, you know, and the games that was supposed to come out, you know, one of them was Assassin's Creed, got pushed back to next year. So even the games that you were really looking forward to is not even coming out. So only some games came out, some gems came out. If you into certain games, some good games came out. If you're not, then it was kind of a dry year. So for me, it was kind of a dry year, which to be expected. But you know, next year we getting Assassin's Creed finally. We getting GTA. So that should bring a whole awakening to the gaming world once that drops. We might be getting a trailer soon, like a legit trailer, so be on the lookout for that. But other than that, 2 new games recently came out. Only played one of them. I don't know if I'm gonna try the other one. One of them is Infinite Nikki, which is like it's a free to play. I want to say it's kind of gacha style, but the whole theme is like you play as Nikki. Apparently this is a series. I didn't know that. Well, you play as Nikki, and like her whole thing is like she finds these new outfits, and like some of the outfits give her abilities and things she can do. So you're basically on a quest to just, you know, get clothes and explore this fantasy world that you just got transported to. And that's it. And the gacha part is where, you know, you can buy like these little in-game gems to roll for clothing items and, you know, dress her up. And the other game would be Marvel Rivals, which is basically Marvel Overwatch. I haven't played that one, but I played Infinite Nikki because, you know, I like to play joke games. So that's where I'm at with it. Hopefully, well, not even hopefully, but you know, next year gaming should spice up. But that's about it. So I mentioned last podcast, I wanted to wait a little bit to drop an episode or whatever, even though I was supposed to drop it last week. The reason why, because I said that there was gonna be some things that was happening towards the end of November, and you know, I wanted to, like, you know, save it for the podcast. So back to back birthday celebrations happened towards the end of November. My co-host on the Splits and Sake podcast, Max, celebrated his birthday. We hosted a gaming party event. What do I don't want to say we rented out a place. It's a place where, you know, it's known for like gaming and whatnot. So we just booked a space in the back where, you know, we got some consoles hooked up. Got friends come along, and everyone just, you know, played games and had a good time and drinking sake. Except for me, I wasn't doing shit. And I'll get into that in a moment. Then the day after that, the day after that, my mother celebrated her birthday. It wasn't her birthday that day, but you know, it was the weekend that was available that we can actually celebrate it. So we gonna do that. So one of the reasons why I didn't do too much for Max's birthday is because Sorry for moving the mic. I had to do stuff for my mother the day after to prepare for the birthday event. I had to go job places and pick things up and drop things off. My uncle last minute was like, I think I should just get something else to wear. I'm not really messing with what I'm wearing, so like I might go to the mall. Like you gonna come with me? I'm like, sure. We had to drop my mother off somewhere so she could get her outfit done, which was not needed because she wasn't there. But yeah, I went to the mall with my uncle. Going to the mall is still, I don't like, I never really like going to the mall. I just don't like a lot of people in one place. And then, of course, not to mention that at one point in time I did work in the mall. So it's just an uncomfortable place. But yeah, going to the mall, my uncle got him an outfit, feeling himself. He was good. Did more stuff for my mom. I'm just tired as hell at this point. The party didn't start. The party wasn't scheduled to start till 10 p.m. We didn't arrive. When I say we, I'll say my mother, because my mother left before me. Didn't arrive till like 11 p.m. I had to go get my brother. Then my brother wanted to do a side quest. Like, oh, let me go get a card. Oh, let me go get a bottle. I'm like, all right, man. Like, I mean, you could have done all this before I got you, but all right. Not to mention all those places are real close to where he was at. I'm like, bro, you could have walked. But whatever. Did that. We had to pick up one more thing too. One more thing of food before we got there. So we had to do another trip. And then we finally got there. And then, everything cool. Any family members that was already there, got to hug, meet, take pictures, everyone happy. And then it just hit me. Like, I just got extremely tired. And I'm like, yeah, I'm going to go to my car. And it was so cold that day too. It was so cold. And it wasn't even cold because it was cold. It was cold because it was just very windy that day. I hate I hate the cold. If you don't know anything, like, cold just like shuts my body down instantly. Like, I hate it. I'm about to choke. Hold on. Oh, sorry about that. But yes, I'm going to my car. I'll take a nap. I'm tired. My brother like, yo, where you at? I'm like, I'm in my car. He's like, shit. Like, I'm about to pull up too. I'm tired too. I'm like, fuck it. So we both just he in the front seat, I'm in the back, just sleeping. Then, mind you, just to fast forward everything, this party, I'm not gonna say it lasted. We left. My mother had to leave her own party early, like, cause they were just partying. We left at about 6, leading into 7 in the morning, bro. Like, the sun was coming up when we were getting home. That side of my family, that's just what they do, man. They love to party, bro. I don't know where they get the energy to, bruh. 11 to 7 in the morning is nuts. Partying. It's not like, you just chilling. Like, you're sparing your energy. Like, nah, they just dancing, going crazy. And it was a small space too, bro. It was hot. It was hot in there, and then you go outside and you freezing. So it's like you don't know where to go. It was annoying. So that was that. So for both Mac's birthday and my mother's birthday, I didn't participate in the festivities because, reasons. One, I mentioned this a few podcasts ago, like, my relationship with meeting new people in my life and friendships in my life. I just don't like, and there's no disrespect to anyone, but I just don't like being fake to people. So, like, I don't like small talk. I can't small talk with you. Like, we gotta connect on a deep level. Like we talk about something, we got to sit there and just talk about it for a while. Like we gotta fucking become best friends by the time we stop talking to each other type shit. I can't just do quick, oh yeah, where are you like that? Oh where, yeah, all right, yeah, right. And that's it. You know, like, nah, I can't do that. Really, like that takes so much energy. Like trying to smile and be cool with people. Like I'm good. So I just sat in the corner, just chilling. I was like, all right, no, I gotta do this for my mother. So I'm not even gonna like drink anything or nothing. I didn't drink nothing. I was just chilling. Played a few games of Tekken, but you know I don't really play Tekken like that, so I got bored of that quickly. I'm like, yo, ain't everybody playing fighting games. Like, where the shooters at? So they even have no games that I enjoy. So I was just chilling. And then my mother, like I said, I got tired real quick before the party even really kicked off. I went back, ate a little bit, and I just stood around. That was it. Like I didn't do much. And Thanksgiving happened. Went to go see Pops. My sister pulled up to with her son. I haven't seen him since he was a toddler, so interesting to see him now. That kid is hyper. That man has energy for days, but that's good though. We had a little wholesome dinner. We all watched. They pulled out the projector, so we all like got into like the screen room and just watched. We watched Wicked, which I didn't know. I mean, I always knew Wicked existed because that's a very popular play. That play been existing for like a while now. I always seen like especially if you've traveled around New York, because I grew up in New York, just traveling around New York, you see it on cabs, like the cabs advertisements, you see it on bus advertisements, you see it on train advertisements, you see it in the city. You always see that picture of the witch with the green and she tilting the hat down. So I always knew it existed. So they finally made a movie of it, which because I wanted to know me. I like to dig deep into lore. The movie takes place. Well, it's a prequel, but it starts off when the movie starts off. It takes place immediately after the events of Wizard of Oz, where like, oh yeah, the witch is dead, everyone cheering, and then people like, oh Glinda, like apparently rumors that you actually been friends with a witch before, and she was like, that was a long time ago, and then it flashed back into which the movie is, where we basically see the witch upbringing, her story of what she was going through, and it's basically painting like, oh, she's technically not the best, she's not the villain, it's everyone else who's the villain, but because she won't help them, they painted her as a villain, so that's why the whole city pretty much hates her. And then of course media, I just mentioned it with the anime, there's a part 1, so there's a part 2 movie that gotta come out, which is technically act 2, and I heard, I don't want to spoil nothing, but I mean, if you know anything, I heard the second half is messy. If they gonna tell the whole thing, it's gonna get messy. And it's interesting. I don't want to spoil it because it's interesting to talk about, but there is a twist that I did not know about that pretty much takes place after the events of Wizard of Oz. And this movie, the part 2 movie should intertwine between the events of Wizard of Oz, because apparently some of it happens at the same time. So I'm curious how they're gonna do that, because obviously we know, the Wizard of Oz movie we all know and love, and just rewriting history, I guess. That's the only thing that rubbed me the wrong way with that movie, because it's like, now that we know the quote unquote truth, it's like you watch the original, it's like some of the dialogue don't add up to what the truth is, and that's where it makes it weird. So it's like we gotta kind of rewrite the original movie now, but we'll see. Uh, but yeah, that's been about it. That's all I've been up to. Besides chilling, just chilling. So yeah, let's go into our topic. I don't know how long I'm gonna talk about this, but yeah, so the topic is basically talking about the feeling of being left behind, not only also just in life, but also being left behind in death. I'll get into that in a moment. So of course, the typical situation of being left behind, obviously, I feel like that's one of those things where I don't know. I don't know if it's a generation thing, because obviously I didn't live in the past era to say, well, technically speaking. So it's one of those things with us as of the moment. I can't say if it happened in the past, but whereas like our generation was like, we felt like we needed to get old quickly, because I don't know if it's a pressure thing by family members, especially also if you have older siblings as well, or any like older friends in your life or something like that. Where it's like, your family like compares, like I go with myself, for example, because like I said, I don't like to talk about things if I don't deal with it myself. My father, way like, I moved out from my mother's place when I was 18 and all of that and blah blah blah, and like, it took me longer to move out. So it's like one of those things where it's like, kind of like trying to pressure me to like grow up fast type thing, like trying to get me to do what he did, but just be better at it. Like I feel like that's where some of it stems from, with like your parents trying to do that, or like I said, you have older siblings who like, oh, like look at your sister, your brother, they doing this and this, and you ain't doing nothing, blah blah blah. So it's the feeling of like, oh, you don't want to be left behind, especially when it comes to like family gatherings, and when family be like, oh, so what you been up to lately? You really gotta like nothing really. But you gotta make yourself sound good. So we try to grow up fast and do things so we don't be left behind. So that's, like I said, one of the things I talked about, where it's like a lot of people from my high school, like before I even graduated college, like a good amount of them was already having kids. And I'm like, damn, like, there's still more life for you to live by yourself, right? But it's that thing, like, everyone's just doing it because they just want to, like, get that over with. I guess they feel like they want to grow old with their kids, and it's like, I guess in theory that sounds cool, but there's still there's still a part of like things that you gotta do for yourself, do things with yourself, still learn about yourself, like becoming a parent and not knowing who you are, not being 100% in tune with yourself. Like there's still things that you don't like about yourself, or things that you're dealing with yourself, and then you're trying to become a parent. You're trying to force yourself to become a parent while also still dealing with who you are and dealing with your stuff and your issues. That could lead to just a messy situation. You gotta take time to just get to know yourself and be with yourself, and not trying to run a race. There's no race to this life. Everyone has their own pace, everyone has their own path. There isn't no being left behind, so to speak. You can't just let the society norms of what things you should be doing at a certain age affect you, and then let people paint their views of what you should be doing with your life as if like, bro, like this is my life. Let me live it. Like, who are you to like even no matter who, like, your parents, whoever they are to you, no one has that right to tell you how you should live your life at all, because this is your personal journey. This is your personal experience. Like, no one should come in the way of how you should experience it and how you should enjoy this experience, because for the most part, it's the only experience we got. And then that goes into my next one, where being left behind in death. That was something that was kind of my theme this entire year. I think I kind of summarized it to that when I was talking about I've been dealing with my mortality for like pretty much the past 2 years and all of that, and want to cherish life more and whatnot. And I feel like some of that stemmed from the fear of being left behind in death. Where it's a bittersweet thing. Like, you gotta just accept that this is a natural occurrence that's gonna happen. It's a cycle that happens, as it should happen. But it's the thing where, like, there's multiple ways to look at it. There's multiple ways to look at it with people who's like, I've been waiting my whole life for this one thing to come out, and if you pass away before it happens, it's like, now you feel like, damn, that person missed out on this. Like, he never got a chance to experience this. Like, you're gone. And then there's if you have close friends or family members, like, it's the bittersweet complications of, you don't want to die too soon and miss things from, like, your friends and your family life, like things you want to see them do, and of course, you're not being present no more, like the things they get to do, and you no longer around to do it with them. There's that, and then obviously there's the other way around of, they passed away, all the things that you wanted to do with them, you can't plan that no more. Now you gotta figure something out to do, and that's where it can become scary for people who really really get afraid of life. You can't fear life. You can't fear death. That's why I said you gotta enjoy this experience. Enjoy what we doing here. Enjoy what we've been placed to do here. Figure out why we're here, and not in a too deep meaning. I mean that in a sense of, like, figure out what you feel like your purpose is. What you feel like your purpose is. Like, like I said, like I said, like the past couple episodes, about leaving your marker on this planet. It doesn't have to be a huge marker. Like I said, as long as you affect at least one person, you left your imprint. Like, if that one person who could go through the rest of their life thinking about what you did for them or whatever, and whatever way that is, like, you dropped some music, or you dropped some artwork that they really like, or you dropped a book or something, like, that was something you was meant to do. You was meant to write that book for that one person to read it, and that would probably change their whole life and their whole way of thinking. Now you forever have an imprint on this person's life. That is now your legacy, and that's your mark. And it's crazy enough, I was thinking about this today. No disrespect, of course, we lost a lot of people this year, and one of the people we lost this year, which, not to laugh, but it's weird. Yeah, wow. We lost Quincy Jones this year. I can't even say not like just this year. We just lost him last month. Like, it only been a month since we lost him. And nobody really talked about it. I don't, like, is that weird? Or am I bugging? Quincy Jones, if you don't know anything about Quincy Jones, like, just, I mean, in the music industry, he's very, influential. I mean, he helped us give us Michael Jackson, Off the Wall, and Thriller. That's just the surface level. There's plenty of things he's been a part of, but, like, that legacy of being there, like, when you think of certain music things, like, Quincy Jones' name's usually been attached to it, like, when it comes to music. Like, that kind of legacy, and nobody really talking about what he done. Like no type of celebration. I mean, aside from the people who, you know, if you that really care, but like on a grand scale. And what I mean by that is like this year we lost I want to say his name is Frankie Beverly. Yeah, Frankie Beverly. We lost him September. And I wasn't this is when I was still on TikTok. I haven't been on TikTok for some time. But the amount of people who, like parents, like who grew up on his music, all of that, were just crying and devastated, like they lost their uncle, like they just lost their father. People they were playing his music in the streets, like they had a little celebration for his music. It's like, that I mean he has some good music, but still, like compared to Quincy Jones, like where Quincy Jones was like, he did a lot of things, and like I haven't felt, and maybe that's part of my, because the reason why I left TikTok and all of that, because the algorithm shows you weird stuff, and I just wanted to cleanse my mind from being shown things that sometimes I don't really care about. So at the time, the Frankie Beverly passing was something. November I wasn't on TikTok, so I don't know how TikTok responded to it, but even like on Facebook, I'm still on Facebook, YouTube, I haven't seen nothing on YouTube about it. Like, I don't know, like no one really talks about Quincy Jones, and that's weird. It was like, to me at least, that's weird, because like he did all of this, leave this legacy, and he's just gone, and no one is like, he's just gone, like no one talking about it, and that's that. And it's like I said, but I mean, he lived a full life, but that like I said, the feeling of being left behind, not being fulfilled, not doing things that you wanted to do, not doing things that you feel like you haven't done yet. Like, don't be afraid to take chances and do things. Of course, the issue with if you want to do things that cost money, plan accordingly. If it's something that maybe you can get friends, like y'all could chip in to do it. Don't I mean, I prefer, like, if you could do things by yourself, do things by yourself. But I mean, technically, like I said, when I do my Japan trips, I'm going there by myself, but obviously I have my friend already there, so we chipping on what we do over there, and so we can have a good time. But if you have friends who are interested in doing similar things, and y'all could lighten, it's something that y'all both like, we both really want to do this, and we keep on saying we want to do it. I don't know, we just chip in and just do it type thing, like, don't be afraid to go out there and live your life. Don't be afraid to live your life. That's the one thing you should not be afraid to do. Living your life, because that's the only thing you can do. That's what we had to do. Just live your life, enjoy your experience, live in fulfillment, and God willing, you leave here with no regrets, without the feeling of being left behind. You've seen enough, you've done enough, and hopefully you in a place of mind and place in your heart where you're at peace with that, where I'm cool, I'm happy with this life, I'm happy with what I've done here, I'm happy with what I've seen, I'm happy with what I experienced, I'm happy with what I left behind, whether that be kids or any other kind of legacy, in a different form, so don't get tripped up on feeling like you are behind people in life. Don't worry about being behind in death. Don't miss out on nothing. If you feel like you're gonna miss out something, do it now. Like while everyone is still here, do things now. Can't make excuses why you can't do things. That's why I'm at that point in my life right now. Like, I know I got friends. I say, yo, we got to do things, and some people like to drag it. Like, I don't want to play with time like that no more. Like, let's do it now while we are here to do it. We are capable of doing it. So it's not like we're all down and out. Like, some of us might have less than others, but that's what that's what the friendship is for. You pick up the slack on to make sure everyone have a good time as a whole. You don't put nobody down for having lesser than you or whatever, or make someone like trying to be, oh yeah, I got this, I got that, what you got? Like, we all got this because we all together. That's it. So that's about it. Yeah, I'm gonna leave y'all with that, man. Enjoy your life. Enjoy the rest of the year, because like I said, we still got one more episode though, so I'm not gonna make it sound like, oh, we're gonna wrap it up. But you never know. So as always, again, you guys enjoyed this episode, if you enjoy what you hear, please be sure to share this podcast, rate this podcast, all of that good stuff. And yeah, have a good day, have a great week, and peace.